somebody can't hear me, we can just...
Yeah, if that's what it is.
Yeah.
You can just do it also in live.
Need it for that? Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I had so much in mind before beginning this thing, and with the way the entire flow has happened, Namita has been Namita. She's just stormed in and taken over the whole thing. But I would still go ahead and say all of the words that I had thought of, because I think she truly deserves every bit of it. So you all must have heard this on the very, very popular show Shark Tank India. मंजिल मिलेगी भटक कर ही सही, गुमराह तो वो है जो घर से निकले ही नहीं.
Or like Malika Dua made fun of me. Did you see the clip? She made fun of me.
No, I did.
She said, "Manzil milegi bhatak kar hi sahi, gumrah to wo hai jo ghar se nahi." I don't roll my R's so much, you know.
Oh, she just did that.
No, but did you see that?
You know what? ये कलाम गालिब का है, लेकिन the one person to make it famous, to completely live and own it, is the person we are going to have the discussion with over here. We've got fans, we've got so many people waiting for her. So without much further ado, I am going to go ahead and simply start the book discussion. But before that, for all the people who would want to know a backdrop about what we are doing over here, let me just tell you that this is Namita Thapar's debut book, The Dolphin and the Shark. She has not just been famous as a very compassionate shark on Shark Tank India, but she also stands up for women entrepreneurs, for imbibing and being mentor to a lot of people. She is from the top 50 most powerful women in business today. She is the recipient of 40 Under 40 award by Economic Times. She is the CFO of MCure. She's one of the most compassionate sharks and the author of her debut book that we are going to be discussing today, The Dolphin and the Shark. And you must be wondering who I am, because I have not taken the effort of introducing myself so far. So my name is Madiha Khan, and I could tell all of you all that I have a decade-long career of working with Hindustan Times, or that I have been instrumental in launching a radio station, or that I have had an association with Bollywood Hungama as a celebrity interviewer. But I think one line that sums up my presence over here is that I am a fan. And that is purely why I am over here today. So ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge, huge round of applause for Namita Thapar.
Thank you so much. And before we begin, my sincerest apologies for running late.
Actually, as a reader, one of the things that I really liked about the book, and I make this comment very often about Indian authors, is that they feel the need to throw really heavy words somewhere or the other. But the book, and I always sit with a dictionary, and trust me, I never picked up the dictionary. It was so simply written right from the heart. So that is one of the things that I like the most as a reader in the book.
Thank you so much. And very often people get a ghost writer, but I wanted to write it on my own, and I spoke to the editor and I said, I know there'll be some grammatical errors, some sentences may not be formed perfectly, they may be too long or a bit odd, but just don't edit too much.
Right from deciding to be one of the sharks on Shark Tank India, then being faced by all the trolls, then deciding to write a book, it'll be right to say that she actually went from being a private limited to being a public limited. So how has that journey been?
It's been great. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, we get mobbed and, people bug us for selfies and this and that. And I love it. I mean, I love the fact that people show so much love, and every person I meet, I always ask them, what was your favorite pitch? What did you like in that pitch? So for me, the best way to get customer insights is when I meet my fans, I always ask them one or two questions. And some of the insights they give me about their favorite pitch, or what they liked about me, or how I could improve, always helps me become a better person. So I love the love. I'm not complaining. I love going private to public. I'm a big Bollywood fan. I watch the crappiest Bollywood movies. What Bollywood? I watch Tollywood also. I watch everything. But that's the only time I'm not thinking. I'm a very analysis paralysis kind of a person. That's the only time I leave my brain behind. The stupider the movie, the better. So learn to find tricks that will get you out of those moods quickly.
Actually, on that note, I really want to know, have you seen Badshah?
As in the singer Badshah?
No, Badshah, the movie by Shah Rukh Khan.
I haven't.
Oh my god, you should totally.
Really?
Because
It's a very old movie.
it is a millennial movie.
So then, how
It's a
many
90s
years
movie?
back is it? Then I must have seen it. And it must have been a very forgettable movie.
Actually, I'll tell you, I am also a huge Bollywood buff, and when I was watching Shark Tank India, every time I started and Namita's introduction would come, I'd be like, Thapar ke aadmi.
Oh my god.
That is something that's there in Balcha. Is the main villain. Yeah, Thapar ke aadmi, har jagah hai.
Oh, I
So,
didn't
yeah,
know that.
happened a
I should look it up. That's nice.
Actually, one thing I really want to know is what did your kids feel about you, your presence on television? What was their
My kids
reaction?
hate it. They did not want me to do season 2. They hate the fact that I'm on Shark Tank.
I think it is really, really cool because right when you dive into the book, she has addressed every single troll right there. She's spoken about it. So it's like, okay, now this is done and dusted. Now can we get to the real point? So that says a lot about your personality. But I would actually really want to know, you have spoken about vulnerability in the book. You have also spoken about women entrepreneurs. One thing that I really want to know from you is that as a female professional in the industry, what were the kind of challenges you faced?
It's funny, I don't know how many of you have read Indra Nui's biography. It's a really nice book, you should read it. And in one of the chapters she wrote about how when she was in a consulting role, she asked the question to the guy sitting in front, but he looked at somebody else and answered it. And I said, my god, this happens, and I've worked in the US for 8 years. And I'm like, this happened to Indra Nui too. It's happened to me so many times that I'm sitting next to my father. And I will ask the question, but the banker or the auditor or the investor will look at my father and answer. And it reached a point where I'd be like, hey, look at me, I asked the question. So I think there are a lot of inherent biases when it comes to women, which is, look at the numbers. Only 20% women are in the workforce. And post-COVID, that number's gone down even more. I think now it's 11 or 12%. Those are terrible numbers, right? Then when you look at women-led ventures, only 2.3% get funded globally. So you can deny it all you want, and you saw in Shark Tank, we had a few fights with the co-sharks on these issues. So men can be in denial, women can be in denial, you can be in denial all you want, but the numbers speak for themselves.
Highlight one of the things that even I noticed, because back then there was no book, there was nothing when we were watching it. Every time there was a brutal feedback given to especially a woman, the way Namita would always open up her discussion would be that firstly, kudos to you all for doing this. It was always on a positive note, always highlighting what needs to be highlighted more, and then moving on to a very honest and brutal feedback. So this was something that I always look forward to, because I truly believe in that kind of compassion. And coming to actually the name, the dolphin and the shark, about being vulnerable, about being empathetic, what makes you believe that that is the right, perfect approach for being a founder, for being a leader?
Again, when you see all these shows like the 80s Hit Dynasty and all these big shows, and now which was the latest one that's come, Billionaire, right? The one on the private equity firms. When you see all these shows on television, you have a very distorted view of what a real leader looks like. It's very sort of type A guy or girl, sort of very, very aggressive, very ruthless to another limit, and that's celebrated. Most of the business leaders that I have looked up to and I have admired are the ones who can balance both. The dolphin, which stands for empathy, and the aggression. You need to be a shark. Trust me, I'm a shark when I need to be. You need to be aggressive, you need to make those tough decisions, you need to make those tough calls, because company always comes before self.
You have spoken in length about your mentors, and one of the ways you believe in is a better payback is by mentoring others. You do so much for that, so I want you to shed some light on that.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of the pitches, we used to get into arguments, especially with Ashneer, because he felt mentors are a waste of time. Because what used to happen is we'd give a valuation, and then if it was different than the valuation they'd come in with, they would go out to say, हमें अपने mentor से पूछना है. And Ashneer would be like, what bullshit, what mentor, I never need a mentor in my life. Why can't he make his own decision? And don't let anyone label you, and don't let anyone, even your near and dear ones, mess with you. Please. I learned that too late. If even 3 people can implement that right now, please do. And that's why I wrote the book, because I feel I learned so many things so late in my life,